Hi, my name is Annette Dalton. I am a special education teacher in a K-5 school in northern New Jersey. I am the senior member of the special ed team in my school, as well as a certified Orton Gillingham reading specialist, therefore being a presenter 2 times in my district on the subject of dyslexia. And in that role, I presented to the K-8 teachers in my district. Within my community, I have been a Girl Scout leader, and my husband is currently a volunteer firefighter in our hometown, and I serve on the Ladies Auxiliary in the fire department, serving to help the firemen on projects that they have, including the holiday party for children, as well as different functions that the firemen hold at the firehouse. I'm working behind the scenes and sometimes up front in my community. The most influential person in my life would be my dad. Unfortunately, he passed away last year, but I take him with me always. My dad was very inspiring, and he was an extremely hardworking man. He worked many long hours, getting up early, commuting into New York City. He had high morals, great values. He had a wonderful sense of humor. He was loving, caring, and he was extremely involved with the youth in my hometown growing up. So after his long days of work, he would be serving in various capacities with the recreation department, as well as Boy Scouting troops for my brother. My father, again being a worker in New York City, was in New York on 9/11, working 4 blocks away, and he was 70 years old at the time. And I am inspired by him, how he faced his fear and that adversity and went back to work after that happened. So again, although my father has passed, he was very influential in my life, and I take him and all of his characteristics and traits with me always. The results of the personality tests were interesting. I totally agree with the first 3 traits, which were agreeableness, emotional stability was my second, and my third was conscientiousness. I do feel that those are traits that definitely exemplify who I am, and especially in my role as a teacher. My fourth, or second to the bottom, was extroversion, and I was a little bit surprised about that. I'm definitely an extrovert. I get my energy from other people, so I was surprised that that came up low. And the last category was a combination of intellect and imagination. And although I consider myself to be somewhat intellectual, I definitely am not creative. So the imagination piece, I can see that and agree with that being my lowest score, because I definitely don't find myself to be a creative person. So I found those results to be interesting and a true reflection of myself for the most part. The 2 theories that I connected with were the democratic leadership theory and the authentic leadership theory. The reason for the democratic leadership theory, the reason that I felt connected with it, is that there's a collaboration between leaders and team members. And as a leader, I definitely looked for that collaboration. Members take an active role and creativity is encouraged. Again, not being a creative person, I look to team members to bring the creative aspect to projects, because that is not an area where I shine. But since this theory stresses collaboration, I love that aspect of doling out that responsibility to others who see that as a strength where I do not. Finally, this theory deals with having a high morale and a high level of commitment. And that high level of commitment definitely connects with me as a leader and as a teacher. My second theory was the authentic leadership theory, and components of that I feel connected to were that the leaders are genuine, they are mission-driven and focused on results. And isn't that all teachers? That we are mission-driven and focused on results. We like to take the students that we get in our classrooms in the fall and work with them and know what we want them to look like when they leave our classroom in the spring. I am the kind of person, I feel that I am authentic. What you see is what you get. That's the kind of person who I am. I have high values. Again, something else that I got from my dad. The leaders in this area work to build relationships and connections. They have a heart and they do the right thing. So researching that, I definitely felt connected. So those are the 2 theories I related to. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to working with everyone this semester. Thanks.